Hi guys, Chris Buck here with Estate Agent today. Now I am delighted to be joined by John Williams of Fourwalls, who is also, just like me, a property photography geek. So John, great conversation offline. If you're an agent in Birmingham, Belfast, Bognor Regis, give us a tip.
Afternoon, Chris. I think probably the biggest tip I can give on property photography is presentation. It's all about that first impression. So if you're an agent, it's really down to you to sow the seed with your client, with your vendor, to make them understand the impact of that photography that is going to happen on their property. So set the scene, do a little bit of legwork, advise them the best you can to get the best possible shot at the marketing.
I love it. So we talked about an embarrassing experience I have, which I won't share with our viewers, of trying to get
We've all been there. We've all been there, Chris.
We've been there, right? Of trying to get a really cool lifestyle shot, as well as your standard, this is the lounge, this is the dining room. What's your view on lifestyle shots and throwing a few in there?
I think, because we obviously have dealt with a lot of estate agents all over the country, and people have different takes on these lifestyle shots. I went down the route probably wrongly as an early sort of photographer, as giving my team total artistic free rein. And of course, what did we end up with then? Just pictures of taps, which really doesn't help the situation because they took it too far. So I think the lifestyle thing has to be in context with the rest of the property.
Okay.
You know, different types of lenses really help to give a different perspective. So all the photographers these days normally carry a multitude of lenses in their bags to get that sort of soft focus, highlighting some aspects of the property, and really just to give a different perspective on it. But It is, I must say, Chris, very much property specific. It's all very well saying I want lifestyle shots, but if it's a little one-bedroom flat that hasn't got much going for it, it's not going to work.
Makes sense. Okay, so our American cousins get big fees and they pay people to come and stage the houses. Not always the case here in the UK, right? So I previously, in fact, on my latest listing, have digitally staged it. What's your view there?
Totally relevant. Obviously, the lettings market is ripe for that type of stuff, where you've got an empty, vacant flat, might have been on the market for a month, 2 months, maybe more, hasn't let, maybe hasn't even sold if it's an empty sales property. To get some either furniture in there or to do some CGI stuff on it can give it a real upswing on the listing and sort of almost relaunching the property, which works really well. And we do a lot of that type of stuff.
Okay, fine. What's your most favorite, either a property you remember that you photographed really well, doing your first night shot, doing something out of the ordinary? What would you like to share with our viewers of something that you've seen recently and you thought that worked well?
I think the whole, as much as night shoots are a little bit of a pain during the summer, because obviously height of summer, even in this summer, it doesn't get dark till 10 o'clock in July, which can be a bit of a pain when you're doing that as a photographer. But the results, if the property is lit and staged properly and it suits itself, really does add an extra dimension, which is very, very exciting. The other thing we've just done, which is working well in the present marketplace, is different ways to photograph property. I mean, an example, drone has really taken off. So getting some really high level images that offer a really interesting dynamic perspective on the properties that are set in some amazing locations throughout the country.
Yeah, I love drone pics.
Drone is, I love it.
Okay, it's becoming more and more standard now, right?
Even it totally is. It totally is, and the guys love doing it. You know, it's that whole. If you're a photographer, you're normally a bit of a geek, and so you have a new toy. They're just really running with it or flying with it.
Yeah, no, I completely understand, and I'm that geek, and I love it. So, talking of being a geek, I've just released a series with Zoopla, a bit of a clang there for me, a bit of promotion. But one of the things we were debating was how many photos are too many.
I think standard package, we normally do about 25, which I think on a decent sized property is more than enough. It goes back to that old age saying sometimes, though, less is more.
I couldn't agree more. And I reckon right on cue, there we go. John, you've absolutely nailed it. I've loved this interview. I'd love to do one more in literally a couple of months' time, because photography, it's your shop front. You've got to get it right, and your passion is second to none. Thank you, everyone, from here at the Estate Agent today. Speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.